Sometimes you play a game and it's just a bit hard to describe, and that's exactly what I just got done doing with Future Unfolding now available. But is this game a work of art, or is it more like a lousy landscape? Future Unfolding is a procedurally generated, artistic, adventure puzzle game. When the game begins, you're just dropped into a very colorful nature setting, and your goal is really just to explore and figure out exactly what this world is all about. The game's extremely simplistic in its design. You can hold down X or R1 to run, press the circle button in order to interact with objects, and triangle to pull up your map. Since the game is randomly generated every time, your experience each time you play is going to be different. However, the core design of the game remains the same each playthrough. You're going to have similar interaction with the game's animals that you'll discover and be able to kind of chat with briefly, as well as you'll be solving the same puzzles. They'll just be located in different locations on the map, and you'll have a different map to explore each time. While the game pretty much gives you no directions whatsoever, sometimes when you end up running into certain animals and interact with them, they'll put a marker on your map, which is basically the only time in the game you have any sort of guidance, but how you get to those map markers is up to you to discover. The puzzle solving in the game is usually pretty simplistic, with the likes of either following animals certain directions, making lines connect to one another to make drawings, or stuff like where you have trees and you interact with one tree and get a line coming out of it and then connect it to other trees in order to form a complete shape. There's a lot of teleporters throughout the course of the game that you'll be able to interact with, which will take you to different places on the map and secret areas. There's caves to explore, and a few other types of locations that you'll make it to eventually while you explore the map. You also have the ability to jump using certain interactable objects, and you always have to keep an eye out for these, because these will end up leaping you onto either higher platforms or down to lower ones, since you can't do it on your own. The game is a very pretty looking one, that is for sure, and the use of the paint-like lines, especially just running through the forest itself with the paint trail behind you, gives it a very cool look. One thing that I didn't really like though was the music overall is almost non-existent at times, and just the overall mood of the game ended up leading itself to be on the more boring side. In fact, sometimes it was actually hard to stay awake while playing. There is some lore and some text that you will end up coming across, but for the most part, it's one of those games where it's up to you to kind of figure out however you want to interpret whatever's going on. The game isn't exceptionally long, but since each time you play it, you will end up getting a different experience, there is some replayability there. From the technical side of things though, the game did run smoothly for the most part, though I did end up getting stuck a bunch of times. However, when you pause the game, there is an option for getting unstuck, so thankfully they included that so you can easily get out of tight situations and don't completely end up getting stuck. Future Unfolding is available now on the PlayStation 4 and PC. If you're on the PS4, it does feature a Platinum trophy, and once a decent guide is out for there, finding these trophies should be relatively easy. Overall, it's a pretty game, it's a very artistic game, but it's definitely one that's not going to be for everyone. And being someone who can enjoy these games, in fact a lot of times do, I just ended up feeling like Future Unfolding fell flat for me, and I feel like it is overpriced at $19.99, making it hard to recommend. With everything said though, I'm going to be giving Future Unfolding an average 5 out of 10. But anyway guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.